Hello everybody, welcome back to another LEGO review. Now before I get started in this review, I would just like to give everyone, to all my viewers, a big thank you, because lately I have several LEGO review videos that have completely blown up and they've gotten over 3,000-4,000 views, even 6,000 views, and it's just been an incredible moment. It just suddenly everything just blew up. It all started with the Mos Eisley Cantina set, and after that everything just took off and my sub account began to rise, and I think we're very close to reaching 1,000 subscribers. So hit that fat bell, hit that fat button, and hit the fat like button if you have not already, because yeah, we're trying to get there. So yeah, just thank you everybody. Alright, so in today's video, we're looking at another creator modular set. Now previously, we've covered the assembly square, the big one, corner garage, but we haven't really covered some other ones, like, for example, this one, Bookstore. This one's still quite expensive, but it's on the least expensive side. Still like around $200, but it's a smaller modular set. This is the Bookstore, as I mentioned earlier. So this is actually more of the stuff you would put in a residential area, not necessarily something you would put in downtown, compared to like if you saw assembly square or the corner garage, you kind of put them in a downtown scenario. Now this is created modular, so of course you can put other sets alongside this one, and the way they design it, you can see there's Technic pins right there included, which you can stack with other buildings, and that's how exactly these sets are for, and that's how you make a block. So this is one of the more peaceful options, if you will. So without further ado, let's get right to it. This is the set box, and of course this is a $200 set, so the box is quite big, but the actual model itself is not as big as you would think. But I would say it's a very huge box, and of course it's a set 10270 with 2,504 pieces, and of course just on the side showing you the dimensions and the fact that it's modular. That, and in the box art, notice how the dude here is trying to rescue the plane for his kid. We'll take a look at that, of course, but that is another funny little Easter egg. And then that's the front of the box. Once again, with the modular sets on top, it shows all the parts for some reason. Let me come back here. Here's the back of the box. And you can see the bookstore alongside the downtown diner and the corner garage. And then you can see all the scenarios and different play features that you can do within this set. There is quite a number, I will say that. But apart from that, there's nothing too interesting about the box. And I guess the more interesting thing, of course, it is what is the content of the box. So let's take a look at that, the content of the box. Now the big question is this set modular? Of course it is. It's always modular, but you can in fact split these two buildings and rearrange them to somewhere else in your city, or just put them somewhere else, or rearrange the order if you want. Because yes, it's set up like this, but this is how a default way is predicted, but in fact they're actually two separate buildings, and they just separate easily, just like that, without a struggle. So like I said, you can take apart this and just move it wherever, rearrange it. You can swap the sides if you want. You do you. But that is the flexibility that the set provides. So I guess the most logical thing is to look at the blue house here first, and then look at the main bookstore. Because yeah, I don't know. So I would say I would look at this set as a whole, but I feel like it's just better if we pay attention to each building of its own by looking at them separately. So we'll remove the bookstore for now. At the very end, we'll take a look at what it's like to look like on different angles with the two stacked alongside each other. But for now, I just want to split things up, literally. So here is this blue house again, completely stackable with other sets, and this just looks like a good old style house. My favorite thing, the first thing that stood out to me, is this window build here. That was really, when I was building this and I got to this part, I'm like, ooh, we're into something really interesting. Wasn't wrong, we were into something really interesting. And of course it's gonna look a little bit funky on the sides, but this is the part that usually gets stacked up alongside other stuff, so it's not gonna be that noticeable. And then here is the back. the balcony. This is the, you know, the backyard stuff. So the very top, there's the balcony with a bunch of windows looking in. Then if we look down here, you got the door that is a little bit lighter, but on okay, it's actually not that bright. This is the door is actually supposed to be bright in the blue, but from what you're seeing on the camera lens is actually because of the lighting. It makes it look like it's the same color, but it's not. The door is actually slightly lighter, and the rest is like a dark cyan tan blue. So there's that. Stairway with a secret door right underneath. We'll take a look at this, of course, because we can tear this set. We can break this set down and look at the details. And just a little small pumpkin farm, because I don't know, it's autumn, so almost Halloween season, so it makes sense for some pumpkins to grow. And yeah, of course, the things is sitting on a base plate, so you know, makes picking up the set and carrying it around super easy. Now, of course, one last thing before we break this set down is, of course, the front part of the top. Nice windows here. The textures you can see on the roof is done pretty well. Quite amazed myself at how well that looked. And yeah, so yeah, that is done pretty well. And then the top, just to show you, there you go, that's the top. So it is time to break this set down, because of course it's modular, so therefore we can take a look at the interior. So first things first, first order of business is to remove this section. So because this part can't really be, the roof doesn't really necessarily have a roof that can be removed, so you remove this first, so this part comes off. Got the door, balcony, everything else, boom. Now we can see what it looks like on the inside right here. So this is a bedroom. Nothing too much happening. You got the bed itself, which is not modular, so be careful, because it does look nice, but involves a lot of small pieces, so do take this with a grain of salt. I'll just say that. Got a little drawer desktop here, you know, just to make the bedroom feel more like a bedroom. And then just on the left side right there, you can see there's a painting right there of the what I will assume is the Golden Gate Bridge, or the Lions Gate Bridge in Vancouver, but I don't know. But yeah, so it's a very cozy, small, claustrophobic for sure, but it's a pretty nice placed, roomy environment, you know, to take a nice nap in. And just in case you're wondering, this is the chimney piece, which comes off just like that. It's not really connected, it's not really chronologically making any sense, but whatever. It is quite heavy though, I will say, when you take off this section, which is what we're going to take off next. So there you go, so that is the entire second floor removed. So now that leaves us to seeing the main floor, the first level right here. So because of course, unlike the assembly square, I actually have to move the camera to look in, but this is such a small build and light set, I can just lift it up with my hands. So what do we got in here? Well, we've got a umbrella dangling right there. Yes, that is a pink umbrella, real umbrella hanging right there with a hat. At the stairway right here, and then there's another door right here, which when you open it up is, oh, I broke the handle. That was not supposed to happen. Alright, that was not supposed to happen, but there you go. Once you open it, you can see that is another stairway down, which will lead to the basement, which we'll take a look at in a bit. Don't worry. Now, what else can I show? Well, you got the front door right there. You can see that's another couch. You got the main table with newspaper, teacups, very British, you know. And then you got the fireplace. You got, I would assume this is a piano, or maybe just a cupboard with all the wine and stuff that there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. And also, boom, this is where that really cool window build is. And honestly, I can't appreciate it enough of how cool this window looks right here. And then of course, on the very front, you got the main door with a very nice staircase built in. I really love the style of the railings. That does really well. And of course, you got some flowers at the front, just to give it some nature. Yeah, I really like the stairs. I really like how it turned out. Lights are pretty interesting, but yeah, they're lights. What did you expect? Alright, it's time to remove this section and show you the basement. What? There is a basement? Yes, sir, there is. It's a very tiny basement, though, I will say. So, the door we showed you earlier, that's why there's a stairway here, so it goes up that level. So here's the basement. The stairway comes down here. There's actually nothing too much happening down here. I'm assuming this is some money that they stole or something. I don't know. This looks like something you would do in a workout. And then you just got some ladders here, and there's the ladders here for a reason. Right here. It's here as part of the set, which I will actually take out now because we're going to need it to use it again later to show you. And to get the ladder out from a minifigure point of view, you can actually just open this door right here, and just pull the ladder right out. So that's why this is here. So yeah, apart from that, nothing much in the basement. Very simple, very straightforward. And I do wish there was a little more in the basement because it feels really empty, I am not going to lie. And the fact that the ground is also grass, not realistic, but yeah. So yeah, so that is the first building. So now it's time to assemble it all back together. So again, if you want to see the process, here we go. So put this back on, and then we just put this back on. This first, of course, is the bigger piece, so put this back on. Oh yes, the address up here is 107. Very, very simple house number. And then finally, we seal the deal by putting this back on and not breaking the railing while at it. There you go. So that is building number uno. Very small blue house. Again, I'm a big fan of the color scheme, and it just turned out really well. So there's that. So that is the house number one. Now let's take a look at the bookstore. What the set name really is. You know, the star of the show. This is the main building. So let's just put here. Boom. It's not in frame. Hang on. There we are. There we are. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna notice, of course, is the tree. It's the most noticeable thing for me personally. And this is a birch tree. And it has autumn leaves because it's autumn. And I think that is done really, really well. I was quite surprised when I first saw this tree on the set images. I was like, that's okay. But then now I see the physical actual thing in front of me. I'm like, whoa, that's actually pretty nice. This is a really nice, well-designed, simple birch tree. And from the foundations, it sits down there. Yeah, I think that's done pretty well. It really looks like a tree grown in the city. And then of course up here we got the leaves, we got a plane stuck up there, and we got a bird's nest right here. And then this is the rest of the top of the tree. Now, remember that ladder I showed you earlier? This ladder? So, there's a scenario here where the kid is playing with his toy airplane, it gets caught in the tree. So one of the other minifigures has this ladder, he takes it out of his house. You can fold it out like this. Like this. And then just put it there to hoist the tree down, or hoist the plane down from the tree. Obviously it's not tall enough, that's why in the box art the minifigure uses an umbrella to attempting to knock the plane off the tree. That's what this ladder is here for. It's just for that little scenario, which is pretty nice because you can there's actually scenarios happening in this set, so you can actually have some more of a playset side to it rather than just a model on display. So we can remove the plane right off here. Here's the plane itself. It's a very, very simple, straightforward build, so it's honestly not that interesting to look at. And apart from that, alright, so the tree's kind of in the way, but I'll try my best to show you the front. So first and foremost, the bookstore right here is called Birch Books. Ironic, because it's a birch tree. Nice lantern though, I will say that. Here is the front of the bookstore. And on the very front, you just got a cabinet of books. Maybe these are books that are just that you can take out and then return. You know, some cities have that. Not quite sure. Maybe these are just books on discount or free books that won't sell at all. I don't know. Just something like that. And I mean, it gives the outside a little more flavor. I do like the door design here on the door frame. That is done really well. Now we go on up here now, more windows, but then look at this, the architecture design on the top here. That is done really well. Love the curves, like the pattern it shows. That is done really, really well. I wasn't really expecting this, but it came out as a pretty good result. And the color scheme is pretty okay too, you know. So I have sometimes have a problem with the brownish red, but in this case it's actually pretty good. So there's that. So of course, before we break down this build, I'm going to show you the back of the set. Here it is. So you can see just more balconies, windows, door. No pumpkin garden this time. So it's nothing too interesting to see at the back. Now, let's take apart the set and show you what's inside. So, nothing in this build, I believe. Actually, no, there is. Oh, I lied. Okay, so you can remove this room to review another bedroom. A much smaller bedroom because it's literally just a bed and a lizard tank. Whoa, that's interesting. The bed is built pretty decently. But the lizard tank, this is what, or maybe it's an iguana, or I don't know, it's definitely a reptile. Not quite sure what that pet is, but if you know, let me in the comments. But that is, first of all, the mold itself, pretty nice piece. Secondly, the tank that is in, pretty nice. And they purposely left a hole here so you can actually, you know, take the figure out, take the chameleon, that's what it is, the chameleon. Take the chameleon out and put it back in. So there's that. And the bed design, again, I said, looks pretty nice. So there's that. So we can just put this back on together. Roof just comes on just like that. But now that leaves us room to look at the second level. So let's see. The second level, I'm just gonna take this off to show you the second level. So look at the stairway. It's very grassy, you know, you got the brown bottom and then you got the top, a green top. So yeah, it is, I find that really grassy, but maybe that's just me. But I really like how it's a spiral staircase. That is done. That's pretty creative. Now you got a love seat right here, very nice and cozy. Got a lamp at the back. Got the cup of coffee. You got a old style grandfather clock. Look at that. That's done pretty well. And then just coming out here, get the glass door. Then you have the balcony to chill at, and there's that. So that is the second level, which leaves us to our final level right here. Now you can't really see too much. I'll try my very best. So this is the main bookstore area. So I guess the second level is a way for you to read books and chill upstairs. I guess this is another shelf of books right here, and then down there's not really a lot of bookshelves down there. Ironically, how this is called a bookstore. Kind of wish they included more bookshelves and actually really make it a bookstore. Okay, so that is the checkout counter. Yeah, with a book on the surface. And then notice how now you can see it from back here. You can see the use of these transparent green pieces. Now, how cool is that? That is done pretty well. And of course, you got the main big bookshelf. And notice the floors too. The floors have a really nice pattern going on. I think that's done pretty well. Now my only wish for this build, of course, is to have, of course, way more bookshelves, hence the name, to really make it a bookstore. Because I really feel like that's lacking. And the same thing with the other house. There were some little things that were missing that could potentially make the set, you know, even better than it already is. So we're gonna assemble this back together. Boom, there you go. And now we're going to take the blue house and just attach the thing all back together. Simple as that. Boom. So this is what it originally looked like before. Now we're gonna show you the back. Boom, this is what it looks like from the back when the two are attached all together. So, very simple and nothing too much showing here. I would say this looks way more modern compared to Assembly Square, but it's definitely not bad. It's just lacking a little bit of the stuff within the builds. So there's that. So that is it for this one. Let's take a look at the minifigures. Alright, minifigures time. So there is a total of 5 minifigures included in the set. Of course, they're all average style citizens, which you can of course integrate very much in your own city or just as characters of their own. So number 1, I just want to I want to start off with this little kid. If the camera would focus. There we go. Here's the kid. Very nice autumn outfit. Kind of looks like a winter outfit, but I think it's more appropriate that it's an autumn outfit. But I gotta say, I really like the hat. He does have a second face. I guess this is his face when his plane is stuck in a tree. And here's his cheerful face. Very nice scarf, though, I will say. So probably one of the more well-designed kid citizen figures, average kid figures that LEGO has done. But yeah, so that's done pretty well. Not bad at all. And yeah. And I'm going to assume this is the bookstore, the librarian or the bookstore owner. Yep, there she is. Very like an old granny with the glasses and everything. Very nice, very interesting hair, I will say. And then she's got two faces, kind of look the same to each other. Don't really see a difference, and I don't really see how it will matter. Because the expressions pretty much the same, at least in my opinion. But it's your average librarian. And then we have this. Oh my goodness. This is the goofy mom, I would believe. And my goodness, look at her hair. Holy Jesus. This hair is big. Huge. Oh yeah, look at that. That is a satisfied face. I feel like I've seen this figure before. It's just with different hair. I really feel like I've seen this one before, but let me know if she's from another set. But just look at that hair. Holy crap. That's hilarious. That is one of my favorite figures. And then I guess this is the dad for the kid. Actually no, this might be just another person at the library, or maybe the husband. I don't know. But he's got a flower. He's got a very nice red suit. He's reading a book here, and this book actually says The Moby Brick. You know, as a reference to Moby Dick. It's based on a real story for those of you who didn't know. And this is just a whole piece itself, which can open right, and there is a stud piece in there. It's representing a page saying "Once upon a time." Of course, it won't tell the whole story, otherwise it'd be impossible to make this book piece. But yeah, that is a direct reference to Moby Dick. Take off the hair, two faces, I guess a satisfied look and a very cheerful look as he's reading the book, as he's enjoying the story quite a lot. And then finally we have this guy, who I'm going to assume is the resident of the blue house, you know, the dude who lives in the blue house. And in the box, he's the one who actually takes out the ladder and gets the plane off the tree for the kid. Kind of, he looks like a person in his mid-60s or something, or I don't want to be assuming here, but that's a very nice outfit, I will say. And then, no secondary face for this guy, because he's one expression the entire time. There's that. So, from this arsenal of figures, obviously, I will have to say this guy is my favorite. Love the book, the Moby Brick reference. That's a pretty fun Easter egg. But yeah, that is all the minifigures, and let's wrap it up in the final verdict. So will I say this is probably, I would say this is probably one of my favorite modular sets, creator expert sets from all the other ones, because I just love how simple it is, and the environment it is setting with this tree makes everything look so peaceful, and I'm definitely a big fan of it. I would say I would highly recommend this if you're looking for a good creator expert set. Just the architectural design, if you look at the outside, just looks absolutely fantastic. And yeah, and I just love the stuff inside, and I just think it's not as complicated as the assembly square. I actually prefer this over the corner garage. So yeah, I would say definitely consider investing in this set if you can, because yeah, this is definitely a set that you don't want to miss for sure. So that's my opinions on this set, and my final grade for it will probably be a 9 out of 10. Maybe just a little more on the inside, and also it feels a little bit claustrophobic for our minifigures, but it's Lego. So yeah, so that's it for this one. Like I said, let's get to 1,000 subs, so hit that fat subscribe button and the fat notification bell, or you don't have to. Just subscribing will already help. And give this video a like. And that's it for this one. Have a wonderful day. Check out the other creator assembly videos if you haven't. I've covered basically all the common modular sets except for one, which I believe is the Downtown Diner. Now I cannot get my hands on that set because that set is actually sold out as of now, and I think it's retiring soon, so I don't think I'll have a chance to get it anytime soon. That's alright, but that's it for this one. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.